Welcome back. You're watching WION World is One with me, Raisha Sehgal, and this is Speed News, where we get you the latest from all across the globe. Let's get you started. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah said that it was able to carry out its attack as planned in retaliation to the killing of top Hezbollah commander Fuad Shukra in Beirut last month. Nasrallah said Hezbollah managed to fire 320 Katyusha rockets and drones at Israel. He also refuted the claims made by Israeli Prime Minister of Israeli fighter jets destroying thousands of Hezbollah's rocket launchers. Nasrallah said that Hezbollah would assess the result of the operation, which was carried out on Sunday, and would determine whether it would carry out further attacks or not. On the other hand, Netanyahu has warned that Israel's preemptive strike on Hezbollah in Lebanon was not the end of the story. The United States said it is keeping a track of the situation in West Asia and is working to avert any further escalation. This as the US clarified that it was not involved in strikes in Lebanon or shooting down the incoming projectiles. A US official said that America's role was limited to tracking the barrage of rockets and drones launched by Hezbollah. Meanwhile, reports suggest that Israel and Hezbollah had communicated through their intermediaries in order to prevent any kind of further escalation. There was no agreement in peace talks that took place in Cairo on Sunday. Reports suggest neither Hamas nor Israel has agreed to compromises put forth by US, Egyptian and Qatari mediators. The Philadelphia corridor continued to be the point of contention, where mediators, as per reports, put forth a number of alternatives to the deployment of Israeli troops on the 14-kilometer-long corridor, but none were accepted by the parties. Furthermore, Israel expressed its reservation on Hamas's demand for the release of several of the Palestinian detainees. The Netanyahu government made a counter-demand seeking the detainees' exit from Gaza if released. However, Hamas has rejected the demands, stressing the need for a permanent ceasefire and a complete withdrawal from Gaza. At least 28 people have been killed in Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip in the last 24 hours. Among the dead are at least 8 Palestinians who were killed in an overnight strike in the eastern part of Deir-el-Balah. Israel has released evacuation order for Deir-el-Balah, including the area in which Shuhada Al-Aqsa Hospital is based. In response to the forced displacement of civilians, Hamas's armed wing said its fighters launched an M90 rocket at Tel Aviv. Reports suggest the rocket landed in an open area near the city of Rishon LeZion, south of Tel Aviv. Ukraine has launched a drone attack on 2 key Russian cities, Saratov and Engelis. A woman has been wounded and several homes damaged. The governor of the region has said that a residential complex in Saratov was damaged by falling debris. In Engelis, the top floor of a residential building was damaged as well. Emergency services were put up at affected sites in both the areas. Meanwhile, Russia said that the drones were destroyed by its air defense systems. Ukraine has accused its Moscow-allied neighbor Belarus of concentrating troops on the country's shared border. Kiev has warned Minsk against unfriendly actions and not to make tragic mistakes under Moscow's pressure. Ukraine recorded the presence of Wagner fighters along its border and has urged Belarusian armed forces to withdraw away to a distance greater than the firing range of Belarus's systems. Back in 2022, Russia used Belarus as a launch pad for the invasion of Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has reported further advances into Kursk. He said that forces have taken 2 more settlements under their control and that active actions are underway in 1 more settlement. Ukraine claims to have seized a major part of Russia in the Kursk region and captured hundreds of Russian soldiers that it said is part of an effort to counter Russia's advances in eastern Ukraine. Meanwhile, Russia has launched a drone attack on Kiev. According to Ukraine's military, up to 10 drones were destroyed in the region surrounding Kiev. Most of central and eastern Ukraine was under air raid alerts. A Reuters journalist was killed and 2 others were injured in a strike in the eastern Ukrainian city of Kramatorsk. In a statement, Reuters said that the journalist was killed after missiles struck the hotel where he was staying. The attack also injured 2 other journalists, a part of Reuters' 6-member team, and are being treated at a hospital. The news agency said that it is looking for more information on the attack and is working with local officials. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that the hotel was struck by a Russian Iskander missile. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has proposed a second Ukrainian peace summit, preferably in India, though. Zelensky is not pressuring any other country. The Ukrainian president has vouched for New Delhi to be the new potential host for peace negotiations in the ongoing war with Russia. He also hailed India as a great country and a great democracy. The Ukrainian president added that he is also in discussions with other countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey and Switzerland regarding the summit, but insisted that peace summit can only be hosted in a country that is a signatory of the summit's joint declaration for peace. In the aftermath of recent stabbing attack in Germany that killed 3 and injured 8 people, a Syrian man has confessed to the police that he was the perpetrator. According to the prosecutors, the 26-year-old is suspected of having ties with the Islamic State. This as members of a far-right political party staged a protest in Germany's Solingen on Sunday. In response, counter-demonstrators also came out, resulting in a clash with the police. The incident comes on the heels of a similar stabbing attack that took place in the United Kingdom. India's CBI has completed the polygraph test of 7 people, including the main accused, Sanjay Roy, as a part of the probe into the rape and murder of a trainee doctor in Kolkata's RJ Hospital. Notably, ex-principal Ghosh, 4 doctors and 1 civic volunteer also underwent the polygraph test. And this comes after the Central Bureau of Investigation got the approval for the test from a Kolkata court. Sanjay Roy is currently the only person arrested in connection with the crime. However, the victim's father also suspects that more than 1 person was involved. The parents of the victim have also alleged that the department and other doctors, they know about the details of the incident and they are silent out of fear. In Pakistan, at least 23 people have been killed in Balochistan's Musaikil district after armed men offloaded passengers from trucks and buses and shot at them. According to officials, the armed men killed the travelers after checking their identity. Reports suggest that armed men blocked the inter-provincial highway in the Rarasham area, district of Musaikil, and offloaded passengers from buses. The dead are identified as belonging to Punjab. The armed men also set fire to 10 vehicles. Singapore's dollar advanced to its strongest in almost a decade. traders weigh the difference between the local monetary authorities' hawkish policy outlook compared with that of the Fed. The local dollar hit levels last seen in 2014 against the greenback late Friday. Singapore's currency has gained about 1.5% this year and will be the second best performer in Asia behind Malaysia's ringgit. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, which uses the exchange rate as its main monetary policy tool, maintained an appreciating bias for the currency at its July meeting to rein in inflation. Sopex profit inched higher in the first half after an improved performance from upstream operations. This potentially offsets the impact of a slowing Chinese economy and hefty declines in the company's main businesses. Explorations and production rose 15% over the period, helped by stronger international crude prices and gains in output. There were drops of 38% in oil processing and 14% in marketing and distribution. Diesel used in construction was also weak, and the state-owned company's chemicals business remained in the red, although losses narrowed. A digital asset from a blockchain project linked to Telegram Messenger lost about $2.7 billion in market value. This is due to uncertainty sparked by the detention of the messaging app's co-founder and CEO. Tcoin, the token of the open network, slides more than 20%. This was after Pavel Durov was reportedly taken into custody at a Paris airport on suspicion of failing to take steps to prevent criminal use of Telegram. The blockchain has access to Telegram's 900 million monthly users through a partnership and seeks to enable services such as in-app payments and games. Hurricane Hone crossed the southernmost point of Hawaii with wind speeds touching 140 kilometers on Sunday. According to the region's weather department, the winds were blowing across the island's southeast region, increasing, bringing rains of up to 30 centimeters. Meanwhile, floods have led to the closure of several roads and highways in the country. Several bridges were also inundated, while many properties were also isolated in the outskirts of the country's Bahala region. Relentless monsoon rains and overflowing rivers in Bangladesh have left at least 20 people dead, with more than 5.2 million affected nationwide. While those ravaged by the floodwaters have been left isolated in urgent need of food, potable water, medicine and clothes. According to officials, more than 400,000 people from 11 flood-hit districts have taken refuge in around 3,500 shelters. They say medical teams and the military are helping in the rescue operations, but blocked roads have hampered their efforts. The Bangladesh Weather Department has warned that flood conditions could persist if the monsoon rains continue. Heavy rains battering Indonesia have triggered floods in the North Maluku province since Saturday. A rescue operation is underway to retrieve buried bodies under the rubble of destroyed houses. 10 people have been rescued so far. 13 people have lost their lives. The injured are being treated at the local hospital. Sweeping through residential areas, heavy floods destroyed at least 10 houses, causing massive damage to property in the city of Ternate. Indonesia's disaster management agency BNPB has deployed a team to help evacuate the victims. Weather forecast suggests that heavy rains will continue for the next few days. Scientists in Scotland have gained access to over 1.6 million anonymous brain scans to study dementia risk. A team from the universities of Edinburgh and Dundee will use AI to analyze these scans, searching for early signs of the disease. Now, this large-scale study is the first of its kind in the UK and aims to help radiologists detect dementia earlier by identifying patterns linked to the brain's protein buildup that starts before the cognitive decline in dementia patients. A beloved character from the world of Pokemon has been used to create a violent AI-generated image. The cute yellow fuzzy Pikachu is seen holding an assault rifle. This image has been generated by Grok, Elon Musk's AI chatbot. Grok continues to face backlash over unrestricted content creation. Experts worry Musk's decision to not have any restrictions on Grok's content could lead to the potential spread of misinformation and harmful content. Currently, Grok AI is only available to X Premium subscribers. According to a report by cybersecurity company Checkpoint, a security flaw in web applications is putting businesses at risk, known as server-side template injection or SSTI. This allows hackers to inject malicious code into websites and also steal sensitive information. According to the report, 1 in every 16 organizations faced SSTI attacks each week over the past 3 months. The report highlights how hackers are using clever tricks to hide their attacks and the urgent need for businesses to prioritize web application security. A group of northern bald ipsies is being guided across Central Europe by a microlite aircraft to aid in their migration. Now, while these birds have a natural urge to migrate, they lack direction without the guidance of wild-born elders. An Austria-based conservation group have stepped in with their human foster parents program, where they raise the chicks, forming a bond that makes the birds believe that humans are their parents. The team then uses a microlite aircraft to lead the birds over the Bavarian foothills, hoping to save this rare species and potentially aid other threatened migratory birds.